Welcome dear students to this class on analog and digital communication lab. So today we will uh, see the demonstration of experiment number 9 and 10 which are related to phase shift keying. So we have already discussed what is the concept of digital modulation technique or the advantages of digital communication. So in the last class, we had talked about ASK, amplitude shift keying, and FSK, that is frequency shift keying. So today we will look into the details of binary PSK and quadrature PSK, that is BPSK and QPSK. So now Ms. Ankita will give you the demonstration of these two experiments. Ms. Ankita, please.
Okay, thank you, sir. Uh, First of all, hello and welcome all of you in this virtual laboratory class of analog and digital communication. So today we will move further towards our ninth and 10th experiment related to binary phase shift keying and quadrature phase shift keying. So as the name implies, phase shift keying means we will change the phase of our carrier signal. The amplitude and the frequency of our carrier signal will be kept constant, but the phase of the carrier signal will be varied. What does the binary shows here? Binary phase shift keying involves the digital modulation scheme. But what is the binary here? Binary means the zero, our information signal, modulating signal or data signal will be in the terms of binary data, either 0 or 1. One symbol of our transmission, that means our data symbol will consist of only one bit, either 0 or the 1. So binary is termed here by earlier ASK and FSK we discussed in our experiment number 7 and it were also binary terms. When we will move further for number combination of the bits, then these are called M array PSK or M array FSK transmission techniques. So for binary PSK, our information signal or data signal is in the terms of the binary. The phase of the high frequency analog carrier signal is varied in accordance with the change in the digital bit stream. Our digital bit stream or our data is in the bits is in the terms of bits either 0 or 1, which will change the phase of our carrier, how the phase will change. For example, for we have to transmit a bit 1. So for the bit 1, we will transmit our carrier as it is. Same carrier data will be transmitted after the modulation. But when we have to transmit the bit 0, we will change the phase of our carrier signal by pi, or we can say 180 degree. How this will be changed? Well, mathematically, you can see there S of t. S of t is the modulated signal. After PSK modulated signal is S of t. It is A star A into cos 2 pi FCT for binary 1. That means a cos 2 pi omega c 2 pi fct or a cos omega ct is our carrier signal. When we have to transmit bit to 1, we will transmit the carrier signal as it is. So for binary 1, same carrier signal is received at the after the modulation. Whereas for the binary 0, the phase shift in the carrier signal is termed as the pi. That means cos and cos theta plus pi is equal to minus cos theta. So for 0 bit, we will transmit the negative form of our carrier signal. So this uh, how this PSK modulated signal can be written in this equation. You can see here BPSK signal is equal to BT. BT is the bit combination into uh, a amplitude of the carrier, or root 2 ps is also an amplitude, and it is written in the terms of the power into cos omega naught t carrier. It is frequency of the carrier signal. How this can be shown in the figure using the waveforms. Binary data is present here, but we have to transmit the negative carrier signal for the bits 0. How will we will achieve it? What will we do? Earlier in the ASK, we have transmitted unipolar signal. That means 1 volt for the 1 bit, 0 volt for the 0 bit. And 0 bit was transmitted for the 0 volt with the 0 volt, but here bipolar signal will be used. That means 1 volt for the transmission of the 1 bit, and 0 bit will be converted into negative voltage. Two polarities will be present, either positive voltage or negative voltage. Positive voltage for bit 1, negative voltage for bit 0. And when we will multiply this with our carrier signal, our problem will solve and we will get our BPSK modulated signal. You can see in this observation waveform, when we have to transmit bit 1, it is converted into bipolar signal using bipolar line encoding technique. It is converted into positive voltage, and when plus 1 volt is multiplied with something, any amplitude carrier signal, we will get the same at the output. And for the 0 volt, we have changed into bipolar minus 1 volt. And when we will multiply this with the our carrier signal, the negative amplitude 180-degree shifted carrier will be received after the modulation. This is the concept of the BPSK signal generation. So again, in the terms of the block diagram, how we can generate binary PSK modulated signal. So I have told you we have to first convert our unipolar signal to the bipolar signal. That means we have to convert our bit data in the terms of the positive and negative voltage, not positive voltage and ground voltage. We have to take positive and negative voltage. So our binary data will be transmitted to the bipolar NRZ encoder. This encoder will convert our unipolar signal into bipolar signal and provide positive and negative voltage to our bit forms. And then in the product, we have to multiply this signal with our carrier. So here is our carrier signal. Carrier signal is of a cosine waveform, sinusoidal carrier signal, which is of high frequency. It is given to a product modulator along with our bipolar data. Bipolar data, you can see this plus 1 volt and minus 1 volt, and at the receiving side we will get a BPSK modulated waveform. One bit is circled here for our clarification. For example, for the 0 bit, 0 bit is converted into the bipolar using bipolar energy encoder into minus 1 volt, and using product module, and the carrier for that bit duration is shown also. And at the receiving side, you can see the phase difference between the transmitted carrier and the received carrier after the modulation. There is 180-degree phase difference. So this is the generation process of the BPSK modulated signal. Now we have generated our BPSK signal. So how to demodulate this signal? There are two methodologies for the demodulation or detection of an BPSK signal. First, what is a BPSK? Either plus 1 or minus 1. If we convert it into a ASK signal, we can easily detect the envelope using envelope detector and easily demodulate it. And second methodology is of coherent detection. We will use a carrier signal for the coherent detection. We will multiply the carrier signal with the BPSK received BPSK signal. Then both signals will be provided to a balance modulator or a multiplier. They will be multiplied. After this, they will be passed through a low pass filter or an integrator. They can use the low pass filter and integrator are the same terms, and then it will be given to a threshold detector, and then we will receive our binary sequence at the output which we have transmitted. This is the expanded form of the second method. The carrier recovery signal is expanded. How the carrier will be recovered in the signal. The carrier recovery signal is shown here. How the carrier signal will be recovered through a transmitted BPSK signal. And then this will be again provided to synchronous detector, or we can say multiplier, and then it will be provided to low pass filter and threshold device, which will decide about whether bit is our logic 1 or logic 0 by comparing it with some threshold value. Two demonstrations have been provided for the BPSK modulation and the demodulation using breadboard and using trainer board. So using breadboard, I have mentioned here two circuitries. This is the BPSK modulator, but two signals are provided to a balance modulator. We have to use a multiplier, or we can say balance modulator. Balance modulator is generated using two transistors in which two inputs are provided, data input and the carrier input. And after this is an amplifier which will amplify our signal and provide the BPSK output. And this is the envelope detection process of BPSK demodulation. And
the lab manual, in which the aim of our BPSK is to design and verify the operation of PSK generator and detector. So next we come to the components. Components, we require SL100 and one SK100, and then we require some resistors, as you can see the values, then few capacitors and one diode. So the theory is basically, I've already told you that in a PSK system, a sinusoidal carrier wave of frequency of fixed amplitude AC and fixed frequency FC is used to represent both symbols 1 and 0, except that the carrier phase for each symbol differs by 180. The PSK output waveform is represented by, yeah. So this is the equation for the PSK output waveform. For symbol 1 it is AC cos 2 pi FCT, and for symbol 0 it is AC cos 2 pi FCT plus pi. So now we come to the circuit diagram. So basically this is the circuit diagram for the modulator, in which you can see, I will start from here, that these are the two transistor SL100 and SK100. They are connected with both emitters connected together and connected to the ground. Then both of the collectors have 1K 1K in series, which are again connected to the sinusoidal carrier wave. So as you know that it is the carrier wave, so it will have high frequency in comparison to the message signal, and both of the bases of the transistor are connected to one another and then connected to a resistor, so that the current can be modified, and then a message signal is given here, which is a square wave of 400 hertz. So as you can see, the uh, frequency of the message signal is much less than the carrier signal, and also the amplitude also differs. So now we move on to the circuit. This is SL100 and this is the SK100. So as you know that SL100 is for the upper part and SK100 is for the lower part of the sinusoidal. So now 10K and 10K resistors are connected for variable resistance, so that the current flow, we can define the current flow. Then we use a 741 IC. It is to amplify the output. We connect the upper part SL100 for the upper sinusoidal signal to the second pin of it, and for the lower part to the third pin of it. Then we connect the DC supplies plus 12 volt and minus 12 volt to the 7th and the 4th pin, and we connect a 10K resistor from second pin to the 6th pin of the 741 IC, and this is basically for amplifying the output. It is also called the inverter amplifier, and for which we get the output at the 6th pin, which is the BPSK output. So this is the modulator signal. Wait, I will show you the modulator output for it. Yeah. So like this is the message signal I told you about, which had a frequency of 400 hertz, and this is the carrier signal, which is of higher frequency. As you can easily see that it is more compact. So this is the V01 signal, which is for the upper region of the message signal. when message signal is 1. As you can see, V01 was connected to SL100. I will show you. V01 is connected to the SL100 one. Okay, and sorry, this is for the V02, which is for the lower of the message signal. It This is connected to SK100 pin. You can see it, V02. We have recorded this output for V01 and V02 respectively also. I will show you later. This is the expected output of BPSK which we will get at the 6th pin. So as I will show you again how this message signal and BPSK output is related. When the message signal is 1 high, it will continuously be a sinusoidal wave of higher frequency than the message signal. When it becomes 0 low message signal, then you can see there's a phase shift 180 degrees. So it again changes in the negative axis only and again becomes a sinusoidal wave. Then till here it remains like that only. Then again same thing happens. So as you have seen here till now. So guys, now comes the demodulator part, in which as you can see this is the circuit. I am going to show you now the circuit only, and next I will show you, explain it in the lab how we have done it. So like in this, we will use the output we got here in the modulator one, right? Dot PSK, BPSK. Oh, yeah, wait a minute. Now yeah, so we will give that output to this pin, and the carrier signal again, which is a sinusoidal wave of higher frequency, which is 1 kilohertz and 5 volt again, to this 10 kilo ohm, 10 kilo ohm respectively. Then we will again use a 741 IC inverter amplifier and connect respectively, then an diode. So this basically is just the differential amplifier, as you all know. So now this is the envelope detector. You know that in an envelope detector we have two components, a resistor and a capacitor, which are connected in parallel. So as we have seen here, this is the envelope detector part. Then again comes the comparator. In comparator we have again the IC741, which is connected with a variable resistor, or you can say potentiometer here. And again in IC we have given plus 12 volt, minus 12 volt. Now again at the 6th pin we will get the message signal which we gave first earlier. So this whole combined circuit is what we call demodulator. Now I will show you the demodulator output. Yeah, this is the demodulator output, which is nothing but a square wave, because this is what we gave as the message signal. So this is the function generator, in which this is the carrier signal. So the frequency is 10 kHz and the amplitude is 1 VPP. And for channel 1, this is the message signal, in which there is a square wave. This is the circuit. This is SL100, this is SK100, and these are the 10K resistors, which are connected through both of the collectors, and this is the base which is connected, and this is the 10K resistor, and which at the end goes to the 6th pin. So at last this is the circuit.
So this was the breadboard demonstration of the BPSK modulation scheme. Now using trainer board, we will generate BPSK modulated and demodulated signal.
Here, all the block available to perform the practical of ASK, FSK and PSK. So let us go one by one block. The first block is data formatting circuit, where you can get the data clock, NRZL, NRZM, RZ, biface Manchester, biface mark, and differentially encoded bit. So now if we go for the second block, it is a carrier generation circuit, where we are having a two carrier, 1.44 megahertz, 960 kilohertz and 960 quadrature phase. Then there is a block of unipolar to bipolar converter. So as its name, it will convert unipolar signal into the bipolar signal. Then there is a carrier modulation circuit. In carrier modulation circuit, look closely, it required two input. One is a carrier input, other is a modulation input. That means the information signal. And then there is the output. You can change the carrier offset, you can change the gain, you can change the modulation offset. And same block is given below. So totally there are two carrier modulation circuit. And below that there is a data inverter. So it will just invert our data. For example 1010. So it will invert it. This will be 0101. Here we can see the summing amplifier is there, where input A and input B is available. So output will be input A plus input B. That is the main task of summing amplifier. So this is our kit. We are going to perform experiment on it. So let us start now. Thank you. Okay. So today we are going to learn phase shift keying. Phase shift keying, that means the phase of the carrier is going to shift. That means at one point for one bit there is phase shift of 0, and for other bit we will have some phase shift. The amplitude and carrier will remain same, only phase is going to change. So you can see in the diagram, this is the input which is a digital, you can see it is a 1010, and in the output side we can see the phase is going to shift at every time. So you can see for 1 bit, for 0 bit there is a change in phase. So this is called as a phase shift modulation, and the same we are going to learn in the practical session. So let us move towards the kit. So this is our today's kit. So in this kit we are going to use this modulator. In this modulator you can see we required bipolar digital data. So first important thing is that we need a bipolar data. So we are going to use this bipolar converter block, which will convert our unipolar data into the bipolar data. The other block is a carrier signal. So we know that we are having a two carrier section. One is 1.44 megahertz, the other is 960 kilohertz. So that is the carrier, and then this one is a modulator, where we are going to have give the output. So this is going to provide our carrier data. Now let's do the setup and take the output. So I will connect my signal input. I will give it to the unipolar to bipolar conversion. So now my signal is bipolar. So I will just take the output from bipolar and give it to the multiplier. So this is multiplier section. The other thing I will provide is the carrier signal. So I will take 960 kilohertz carrier over here, and I will give it to the circuit. So this is my connection done. Now I will connect CRO and check the output. So in CRO I will check the input and output on the same screen. So this is CRO probe, and I will connect it to the ground. The other on this point. Now we will move you can see that it is clearly visible. The pink one is our input signal, which is a digital signal, and the yellow one is our output. So in output you can see it is a dark carrier. That means the waveform are very near to each other. It is a 960 kilohertz. So now as I will do the zoom, I will get the output of PSK. So now let us make me zoom and check at the transition point. In the transition point we should get some phase shift. So you can check over this point we are getting a phase shift. So this is the phase shift. When it is a 1, there is some phase, and over here we are getting 0. That means we are getting some phase shift, phase change. So this is how PSK modulation work. Every time when there is a transition, it will change the phase. We can check for the another bit also. So you can see that here carrier amplitude is same and frequency is same. The only change is in the frequency. Now if you want to check the phase on this point, now let us check. Let's make some zoom. Okay, so here you can find the change in phase. Again, when it gives the transition from 0 to 1, it is having a change of phase. So this is called as a phase modulation. Digital is converted into analog with the change in phase. The carrier is same and the amplitude is same. The phase is going to change. Thank you. Okay student, now we are going to learn the phase shift keying demodulation. That means we will recover our original signal from the analog signal. So now this is the block diagram of PSK receiver system. You can see in the block diagram, the first block is PSK demodulator, the other block is low pass filter, third block is a voltage comparator, then it is a differential bit decoder, and then we are going to get the demodulation. So here this is the kit which we are going to use for the demodulation. So you can check that this is a PSK demodulator. So we are going to use this block PSK demodulator. We will give input as a PSK modulation, and then we will take the output. That output I will give to the low pass filter. So here we are having a 2 low pass filter block. I will use any one. Then output of low pass filter I will give it to the comparator. So at the output of comparator we will give it to the differential bit encoder. So here the differential bit decoder and encoder is there. It is a bit decoder. So it is available. And then at the output we will get our original signal. So now let me make a connection and then we will check the output on the CR. So this is demodulation process for the PSK. Please remember, which is same as I shown you on the block. So now here on the table we have arranged the demodulation of PSK. Here I have done the modulation. So modulation output I will give to the demodulation input. So this kit is demodulation kit. So here you can see in the PSK demodulator block I have given my input to the PSK demodulator kit. So this one is a PSK modulation input and I will give it to the modulator. Then output of a PSK demodulator I will give it to the low pass filter. Then low pass filter to I have given it to the comparator, and from comparator to decoder, that is a differential decoder, and then I will get the output. So every stage I will show you output. First I will show you output of the PSK demodulator, then I will show you the output of a low pass filter, then I will show you the output of a comparator and decoder. So now let us come to the DSO. We will observe the output. So here you can see it is already PSK is there, that we have seen in the last diagram. So you can see that so this is already your PSK output. Where you can see that the phase change is there. So this is your phase change. So that means it is a PSK. Yellow one is the input right now, and here we will find out the output stage by stage. So first of all, I will show you the output of a decoder. So I have adjusted the output. Now you can see there, this is PSK modulation output, and this is the output of a PSK demodulator. So here you can see that whenever there is a phase change, it is giving the polarity inversion. So we will find 1 0 1 0 when there is a change in phase. So this is the first output. This is the output of a PSK demodulator. Now I will provide this output to the filter, and we will see the output of a filter section. So, okay, so now as I have connected with the filter, you know the function of filter is to take the first input and then charge and discharge, that we have seen in the output of ASK. So the same way filter is going to work over here, and it will remove the remaining carrier and only outline of the signal will be there. So this one is the output of a filter. Now I will provide the output of a filter to the voltage comparator and dB decoder. So now I am going to use this remaining block. So I will give output directly to the differential bit decoder. So now let us check now the direct output. So here you can see that we have clearly receiving our output signal. So whenever there is a phase change, we will get the output signal which is digital. You can see that this is a modulation and this is a demodulation, where input is the analog signal and output is the digital. So this is how the demodulation of PSK signal work. Thank you.
So this was all about the BPSK modulation and demodulation technique. Hope you all have understood all the concepts. So now we will move forward to our 10th experiment, which is about the quadrature phase shift keying modulation and demodulation. QPS or QPSK stands for the quadrature phase shift keying. It is a type of M-array PSK. M-array means earlier we have learned about the binary schemes. Binary schemes means for an entire bit duration, we have only one bit which can modulate our carrier signal, and either 1 or 0. Two levels of bits were present, 1 or 0, and no other bit was transmitted simultaneously. But in the M-array PSK, multiple bits are simultaneously transmitted to change the phase of the carrier at that particular time period. For the one bit duration, multiple bits are transmitted simultaneously. But in the QPS scheme, two bits will be transmitted simultaneously. Two bits combinations will be present, 0 0, 0 1, 1 0, or 1 1. These can, from the two bits, four combinations can be generated, which can be called as 0 0, 0 1, 1 0, and 1 1. And the combination of these two bits is called a symbol, or we can also call it as D bits. When the three bits are used, and the 8 combinations are present, 0 0 0 0 0 1 to 1 1 1, and then it is called an 8-array PSK. And similarly, when 4 bits combination present, 16 array QPSK. Here for the 16 array PSK, for the 2 bits combination, we term this as 4 array PSK or QPSK. So for each symbol, a 90-degree phase shift will be provided to the carrier. How this 90-degree comes? There is a formula that how many symbols combinations we have used will be used will be used to divide 360 degree to calculate the phase difference. 4 combinations are used in the QPSK, so 360 by 4 is equal to 90 degree. In the BPSK, 2 combinations, either 0 or the 1, were used. So 2 symbols are present, So that in that 360 by 2 is equal to 180 degree. 180 degree phase shift was provided for the for the symbol difference. 180 degree phase difference was there between the two bits modulated data. Each symbol is made up of one in-phase data bit and one quadrature phase data bit. What is in-phase and quadrature phase will be cleared in the next slides. So how the odd number data bit, for example, we have stream 0101. So we will collect the odd number data bits and we will term them as in-phase data. And we will, when for the even positioned data bits, we will call them as a quadrature phase data. So pair of the quadrature phase shifted carriers are used. That means two carrier signals are used. Cosinusoidal and the its quadrature phase shifted. That means 90 degree phase shifted form of cosinusoidal signal is sine signal. So both the carriers will be used for the modulation, cos signal and sine signal. So it is called a quadrature phase shift keying. So here, what earlier we have done in the BPSK, we have two binary levels per symbol. In one symbol, we have only one bit. That means either 0 or the 1. So for 0, we have generated 180 degree phase shifted carrier signal. For 1, we have generated 0 degree phase shifted carrier signal. But for the QPSK, we have 2 bits per symbol. 00011011 for this, and for each symbol a phase difference will be provided, and the difference between the various symbols, the phase changes of various symbols will be 90 degrees, which we can generate either 0 degree, 90 degree, 180 degree, or 270 degree phase shift to our carrier, or we can generate pi by 4, 3 pi by 4, 5 pi by 4, or 7 pi by 4 phase shift in our carriers. Here pi by 4 example is the given. This pi by when the phase shift is pi by 4, in multiples of pi by 4, it is termed as the pi by 4 QPSK. So it is given here for example, for serial number 1, our bits combination is 1 0. It is called first symbol, and we have given the phase shift to generated the phase shift pi by 4 in our carrier signal. For second bit 0 0, 3 pi by 4. For third symbol 0 1, 5 pi by 4. Phase difference is generated, and for 1 1, 7 pi by 4. How these symbols are written? It is in the form of gray coding, where the difference of one bit will be present. You have already learned about the gray code in the digital electronics. So how the waveforms of the BPSK and QPSK differ? In the BPSK, you can see the carrier has only two phase difference, two phase combinations, only 0 degree or 180 degree phase shifted. But in the QPSK, 4 phase shifted. First one is shifted by 225, second one is 45, and this is the different combination, but the waveform is shown for the clarification. And this type of phase shifts are provided. How these phase shifts will be provided, what is the form of I and Q, what is the significance is clear here. So here in the QPSK, input bit stream is given. I have told you that the two bits combination are termed as symbols, so that the bits will be transmitted simultaneously. So first bit, odd number position bits are collected initially. Or what is the odd number position bits are 1 1 0 0 1. The red colored bits are odd number bits, and the blue colored bits are even position bits. They are separated out, and so one and the odd number bits, one is collected, and it will be spreaded for the entire 2-bit durations, and then again one will be collected and spreaded for the 2-bit duration. Then 0 bit is collected, it will be spreaded for the 2-bit duration. And there is one point to be noted, that in PSK, we will always use a bipolar signal. That means we will use negative voltage for our 0 bit. So again, for 0, again odd number position 0 bit is present. So 0 is spreaded for entire bit duration, and again 1 is spreaded. And this odd number bit collected, and similarly even bits will be separated, termed as B naught T, BOT and BE of T. Even bits will be spreaded for the 2 bit durations, and these bits collected will use to modulate our different carrier signals as shown here. First, will we convert our input data bit stream into a bipolar form. It will convert our input data into serial to parallel into odd and even terms. The serial data will be converted into parallel, odd and even bits will be separated out, and these separated bits will be used to modulate our two carrier signals. First one is for odd bit will be used to modulate cosinusoidal signal. Even bit will be used to quadrature phase shifted, that means sinusoidal carrier signal. And then the combinations will be added and we will get our QPSK signal, which will transmit both bits at the same time. And you can see that the first bit or odd bits used have modulated our cosinusoidal signal, and in the upper side and lower side BPSK signals will be generated. That means 180-degree phase shifted signals will be present at the upper side and the lower side of the modulator. For the odd bits, one BPSK signal will be generated. For the even bits, other BPSK signal will be generated. And when the both signals will be combined, our QPSK signal will be obtained. So for 1 bit, no phase shift is present in the carrier, and when the 1 to 0 transition is there, the 180-degree phase shift is provided to the cosinusoidal signal, carrier signal, and when the again transition comes from 0 to 1, again a 180-degree phase shifted is provided. That means this is used to generate a BPSK signal. This modulates our cosinusoidal signal using a BPSK modulation scheme. And for the even bits, again, sinusoidal signal is given, which for the 0 bit, negative of sinusoidal signal is present. That means 180-degree phase shift is given. For 1 bit, 0-degree phase shift. For 0 bit, again 180-degree phase shift. Similarly, again our second BPSK signal is generated. Here 2 BPSK signals and are then combined or added, and we will get our QPSK signal. So mathematical terms of the QPSK signal can be represented. First, odd bits will be multiplied with the cosinusoidal form of our carrier signal. Even bits will be multiplied with the sinusoidal. Root PS is the root of power, because power is equal to power is proportional to square of our voltage. So instead of voltage or amplitude, root of power is written here in the symbolic form. So being BOT and BET are in phase, and cosine, the bit sequence which are given to the modulate cosinusoidal signals are termed as in phase signals. If that was written in earlier slides, what are the in phase signal? The bit sequence provided to the cosinusoidal signal are called in phase signal, and the bit sequence provided to the 90-degree phase shifted carrier signal, that means quadrature phase shifted carrier signal, or we can say sinusoidal signal, is called the quadrature phase signal. The bit sequence which is provided to the quadrature phase shifted carrier signal modulation is termed as quadrature phase signal. Cos 2 pi fct and sin 2 pi fct are the pair of the quadrature carrier signals. And for pi by 4 QPSK, I have told you earlier that two types of QPSK signals can be generated, in that where the difference between the very symbols phase difference will be 90 degree, it is fixed. But what is the phase shift of that particular symbol or carrier? That means either if we have to shift 0 by 0, 90, 180 or 270 combination, which will be a conventional QPSK. And when pi by 4, 3 pi by 4, 5 pi by 4, and 7 pi by 4 combination is present, it is called as pi by 4 QPSK. Pi by 4 QPSK is have some advantages over conventional QPSK, which you will learn in your theoretical classes. And for the combination BOT and BET, the different combinations, the phase shift difference is shown here. When BOT is 1, BET minus 1 again. For the bit level 0, we provide the bipolar signal. Bipolar signal means negative voltage signal. When a 1-0 combination, pi by 4 shift is generated. For minus 1, that means 0, 3 pi by 4 signal will be resulted in our carrier signal. When will you solve this equation and use the mathematical form, you will get these results. Again, a table is presented, table is shown to conclude the results, which phase difference we will get as the output. And for 1-1 combination shown here, for the arrow is presented for 1-1 combination. For 1-1, for the 1 symbol, the carrier of cosinusoidal carrier will not be shifted. And for the second one, for the even bit 1, the transition is there, so the sinusoidal bit is shifted by previous as compared to previous one, and then the generated phase difference is of 7 pi by 4. So this is a generation process of an QPSK modulated circuit. Input bit stream will be provided to conversion for the conversion of unipolar to bipolar, and bipolar data will be provided to serial to parallel converter. Serial to parallel converter will separate the odd bits and the even bits, and the odd bits will be given to a balance modulator having cosinusoidal signal as a carrier signal, and the even bits will be given to the balance modulator whose carrier signal is in of sinusoidal form or the 90-degree phase shift terms. And then these both signals will be provided to an adder, which will add the outputs of both balance modulator, and we will get the QPSK modulated signal. So we have said that the QPSK two BPSK signals is generated. You can see clearly that for the upper side, a balance modulator is present, as already we have seen in BPSK scheme or BPSK modulation scheme. And in the lower side, a separate balance modulator is present, which is again a BPSK modulator circuit. So we can see that QPSK is the combination of two BPSK modulated signals. So two BPSK modulated signals are present. For the demodulation, again two BPSK demodulator will be provided. So again here, as in the BPSK, a carrier recovery circuit was present to provide the carrier signal to the balance modulator to multiply our received QPSK signal with our carrier signal. We have to recover our carrier signal from the transmitted data. So here a carrier recovery signal is present. Its detailed form you may have learned in theory, or you will learn it. How this mathematically work, or this will create our carrier signal. So for first balance modulator, cosinusoidal form of our carrier signal will be used. For second balance modulator, sinusoidal signal was used to modulate the second modulator. So here again a 90-degree phase shift will be given to cosinusoidal to generate sine carrier, and which will be provided to the balance modulator. Again, low pass filter is used to demodulate our upper BPSK signal, or the odd bit sequence is modulated signal, and the low, again here the even bits will be separated from this sinusoidal carrier modulated signal, and a threshold device, or we can say decision devices, are present to demodulate, and it will be given to parallel to serial converter. Earlier serial to parallel converter was used to separate out, and then will be combined using a parallel to serial converter, or we can say as a multiplexer. So here a table is also provided to be clear about how the I and Q signals will be generated. I and Q means in phase and quadrature phase data signals. So then different combinations are provided according to the previous data shown. So when upper the B note the output is positive and BET negative, then one positive may refer to 1, negative refers to 0. Again, negative combination 0 will be received at the output, and negative positive 0 1 and positive 1 1. So we have learned about the QPSK modulation and demodulation schemes, how the modulator and demodulator circuits will work. So here the video demonstration of the QPSK process is shown, which will further clear about the process.
Hello students, welcome to this lab, Digital Communication Lab. Today our objective is to perform QPSK, quadrature phase shift keying modulator, and offset quadrature modulation scheme. So this our objective is to perform the modulation and demodulation as well as. So previously we were using the kit scientific 2807 in which the model ASK and binary PSK and FSK modulator was given, and in this particular kit we are using 1 bit for a particular time duration. Then after that we were using second bit to modulate with the higher frequency signal. Then we had then we have third bit and fourth and so on. So for a particular in ASK, PSK or FSK modulation scheme, we have 1 bit for particular duration, whereas in QPSK we transmit 2 bit in particular time. So by this way we can save the bandwidth. So that's why the QPSK and OQPSK are more important for us, because it saves the bandwidth. So here in the previous kit you can see we have 1 bit encoding technique, but here we have 2 bit encoding. That's also known as binet. Binets, yes. Sorry, debit. So here we have 2 bit encoding. These 2 bits will parallelly transfer and modulated with the cos omega ct and sin omega ct. Here cos omega ct and sin omega ct are in quadrature. That's why this modulation scheme is known as quadrature, because cos and sin are at the 90-degree phase shift. That's why it is known as quadrature phase shift key. So here we can see this is the cos signal and this is the sine signal. So this one is the cos signal and this one is the sine signal, and they are at the 90-degree phase shift. And suppose their amplitude is given by I and Q respectively. So I is known as in phase, actually cos component is in phase, and sine component is in quadrature phase, because it's 90-degree out of phase with respect to the cos signal. Now so the bits are coming parallelly, 2 bits at the same times are coming and modulate with the cos and sine. So we can write, actually the bit is I and Q. We can say the amplitudes of cos and sine I and Q. These are the bits which are coming. So this is the phasor diagram. This is the phasor diagram in which suppose I is on x-axis and Q on the y-axis. Q is the sine theta, amplitude of sine theta, and I is the amplitude of the cos theta. And this is the amplitude and this is the phase. So this is the phasor diagram. And suppose I is, we are transmitting bit 1 1. Suppose on this arm we have bit 1, on this arm we have bit 1. So we can write output is I cos theta plus Q sin theta. Here I am ignoring some terms, some scaling terms, because our main Here our aim is to understand what's going on. Otherwise, in detail, in the class sir already explained everything. So output is I cos theta and Q sin theta, and here I is equal to Q is equal to 1 because bits are same. So cos theta plus sin theta, we can multiply it with the root 2 and 1 by root 2, 1 by root 2, and finally we have cos 45 minus theta. Similarly, we can have plus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 plus 1 minus 1. We have several combination, but the amplitude is same, only the sign will change. So accordingly, cos 45 plus theta and cos 45 plus theta minus theta may happen. And similarly the phase will be for plus 1 plus 1 45. If we write here minus 1 and plus 1, then 135. Similarly for minus 1 225, and plus 1 minus 1 315. So this is the mathematical way to understand how the processing is going on. So this is here, note that the logic 0 is actually minus 1 volt. We have already I have already explained in the previous lab, the logic 0 is actually minus 1 volt. That's why we are writing at the place of 0, that is minus 1. So minus 1 plus 1. So these are the four combination, and accordingly they are phase shift by putting this particular equation. Now, so the phasor diagram, here we can make a circle and it will looks like this phasor diagram. For 1 1 this one, for 0 1, for 0 0 this is point, and for 1 0 this is point. So these so here we can say in the previous ASK we were transmitting a single bit, but however in this modulation scheme we are transmitting 2 bits at a time. So here we can see if the RB is the input bit rate, then in this arm we have bit rate RB by 2, and in this arm we have bit rate RB by 2. So by this way we can save the bandwidth by using this particular modulation scheme. Now we have taken this figure from book Simon Hacken, and here we can see the bits are 0 1 1 0 1 0 1 0 0 0 bits are coming, suppose on this point, and after 2-bit encoding, the upper one suppose branch is carrying 0 and lower one branch is carrying 1. So odd number bit will be multiplied and even number bit simultaneously will get multiplied with 0 and 1. So here you can see when we jump from 0 to 1, 0 is transmitted to 0 and 1 is transferred to 1 in parallel branch. Similarly, this one will transfer to another parallel branch. This 0 is transferred to another parallel branch here, this branch and this branch. Similarly here, here 1 is 1 and 0 is 0 transferred. Okay, so in this figure we can see here we have 90-degree phase shift, and at the same time in the second channel we have 180-degree phase shift. So this situation, both situation can be occur at the same time. Similarly, at the another time we have 90-degree phase shift here, but here we have no phase shift. So therefore we can say the energy the bit can transfer from 1 1 to 0 1 and 1 1 to 0 0 as well. So we have 90-degree phase shift as well as 180-degree phase shift at the same time. Now this can be seen. This can be seen through this DSO and kit here. This is the input coming bit, and after modulating with the cos, we have 90-degree phase shift. We have 90-degree phase shift here and here, you can see. And similarly at the second terminal, we have 180-degree phase shift, the coming signal, and after it will start from here to 180-degree. So we have 180-degree phase shift. Now we can see both at a time. Yes, here you can see 90-degree phase shift, and at the same time we have also at 180-degree phase shift. So that's why this phasor diagram is look like this, because we have both phase shift at the same time. And this is actually the problem with the quadrature phase shift king, because there are lots of phase changes at the same time, and which is not good for low pass filter. So we have some arrangement, and that's why we go for the offset QPSK. It is actually the remedy of this switching from the one phase to another phase, abruptly phase changing. So first we will perform QPSK. So in the QPSK we have seen how the phase is different in two arms, and finally we have output this is the input, and this is the final. After the summation we have this is output, you can see here. Okay, now in the demodulator side we again have cos and sine. We have I have already explained in the previous lab. So we for bit duration of TB, the sinusoidal signal will multiplied and integrated for TB. Okay, and this is the comparator, and after the decoding of 2-bit, final output this. So by this way we can perform the QPSK modulator and demodulator bits. Two bits parallelly, two bits are coming, and both bit are modulated with the cos and sin omega CT respectively. And after that, at the output we have QPSK signal. This QPSK signal demodulated at the receiver and integrated, and comparator output will decide what will be the output. So here we can see we have the same output as we have this input signal. Now we can change the two. Suppose we want to change for want to see the output for the different data clock, so we can change it 2 kilohertz to 4 kilohertz. Now we can see the difference. Here the QPSK output for 4 kilohertz, and for demodulator this is the output. Okay. So this is the 2 and 4 kilohertz respectively. Now we switch to the offset QPSK. So input is same. Now here we can see again in offset we shift one arm signal of one parallel branch by T by 2 duration. So if we do this, then at the same time we don't have 90-degree and 180-degree phase shift. So to avoid the phase shifting at the same time by 90 and 80-degree, we basically provide a delay in another arm. So this delay will be duration of bit duration by 2. That's when it will avoid the switching of multiple phase shift at the same time, that is 90-degree and 180-degree at the same time. That's why we are using offset, and by this way the low pass filter can pass the signal smoothly. We can avoid some errors. So here we can see previously, we have first here note that the QPSK side we have 90-degree as well as 180-degree phase shift at the same time. You can see here. Now in OQPSK offset, now we can see here is 90-degree phase shift, but there is no phase shift. If here is 180-degree phase shift, then there is no phase shift. So by this way we can avoid the phase shifting at the same time. So this is the benefit of the offset QPSK. This is the offset QPSK, and this is the output of this modulator. This is the output, and similarly it will pass through the demodulator. The offset decoding obviously will be required because we have done some offset, so decoding will also be required at the receiver side, and finally after 2-bit decoding, the output. Here we can see the output. So input and output are same. So this is the so we have performed 2 modulation and demodulation scheme. That first one is QPSK modulator and demodulator, and another is offset QPSK modulator and demodulator. Thank you.
So this was all about the QPSK modulation and demodulation schemes. So in these two experiments, we have performed the modulation and demodulation of our binary and quadrature phase shift keying signals. And I hope you all have understood the concepts. So it is over from my side.